Hello, everyone. My name is Josh, and I am descended from Siamese lineage with high probability of being royal blood. As typical of my feline breed, I form strong opinions, and I am not afraid to express them. Since my human is a trial attorney and I am his personal emotional support animal, I've had a front row seat to watching the fine art of persuasion in action. And let me tell you, I've learned something fascinating. The humans who shout the loudest, they are the ones nobody remembers. But the ones who listen, who stay calm, and who find common ground, those are the ones who actually change minds. So whatever you currently think the word argument means, let me persuade you that it need not involve showing your claws, or if your affinity is toward my canine companions, baring your teeth in a snarl. True argument is simply the act of persuasion, and if you want to be heard, you first have to be willing to listen. In a court of law, a legal argument isn't just about winning a fight. It's about persuading a judge or jury to see things from a different perspective, using facts, evidence, and yes, empathy for all sides involved. Now, here's where it gets interesting. My human comes home sometimes absolutely baffled, not by the courtroom. He expects a healthy debate there. No, he is baffled by what happens outside the courtroom. He will tell me about encounters where he had the audacity to actually listen to someone, to acknowledge merit in their viewpoint, and you know in what crazy thing happened? They got upset with him. Now, I'd watch this happen during family visits too. Someone gears up for a fight, ready to defend their position with their claws out, and my human calmly says, "You know, I can see why you feel that way. Here's what makes total sense about your perspective." And then we just watched that person totally deflate. And sometimes they get irritated like they wanted a fight. They were preparing themselves for combat, but what they weren't prepared for was someone who refused to be their opponent. Now, here's what I have observed from my spot on top of the bookcase watching all this entertainment take place. Humans seem to have forgotten that you catch more flies with honey, or in my case, you get more chin scratches with purring than with hissing. When someone disagrees with you, they are not automatically your enemy. They're just a human with different life experiences that led them to a different conclusion. Novel concept, right? Think about it this way. If you want your voice to be heard and you want your ideas to make a difference in this world, doesn't it stand to reason that others probably want the same thing? The golden rule just isn't about being nice. It's also about being smart. If you want someone to listen to you, listen to them first. If you want someone to consider your perspective, well, consider theirs first. If you want respect, offer it first, even if it isn't immediately returned. Now, animals can sense energy immediately. Walk toward me with tense, aggressive energy, and I'm gone. Approach me calmly with an open hand and no personal agenda radiating off of you, well, I might just grace you with my presence for a while. Humans are not so different. Most people can sense when you're approaching them with a genuine curiosity versus when you're just waiting for your turn to talk. Listening, and I mean truly listening, not just waiting to pounce with your rebuttal, that is an intentional act of kindness. Let someone express their thoughts without immediately judging them. You might be surprised what happens. Tension decreases, guards come down, and suddenly you're having an actual conversation instead of a verbal cage match. Here's the beautiful thing about genuine listening. Understanding leads to empathy. Empathy leads to patience. And patience is what lets you see that maybe, just maybe, the person across from you has some valid points buried in there that maybe you'll learn something from. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything. My human certainly doesn't agree with everyone, and neither do I. In fact, I have very strong opinions about the proper time for my meals, and I have yet to be swayed from my stance. A constructive disagreement means that you can hold your position while still respecting the other person's. You can say, yes, I do see the merit in what you're saying, and here is where my experience differs. That's not weakness on your part, that's wisdom. At the end of the day, when you choose to stay calm and you choose to focus on what you agree on rather than leading off with what you don't, something magical happens. People will actually listen to you. You become someone worth listening to, not because you shouted louder, fought harder, or raised your fist and stamped your feet, but instead because you offered something rare and unique, a safe space for honest exchange. And that then space of purring, the calm, the peace, the refusal to be dragged into unnecessary drama, others will be attracted to it. Do it over and over again until it becomes a total habit for you, and you'll see for yourself that this cat wisdom has merit. After all, if we companion animals have figured out that purring, or if you're a dog, wagging your tail, gets us a lot further than being in attack mood, surely humans can learn the same lesson. The ability to play well with others isn't just good manners. It is the foundation of every meaningful change that you want to see in the world. So here's what I'd like to ask. Go out and perform intentional acts of kindness by allowing yourself to be open and offer a safe space for others to gather around. Be the one who sets the example. Show the ones who seem to want to argue that disagreement does not have to mean discord, and that the strongest position is often the one spoken most calmly and seeks to find common ground. You might not change the world overnight, but you'll change your world, and the people around you will notice. They'll feel it in your energy, just like we animals do. Thank you for listening. Until next time, I'm Josh, and I look forward to seeing you back again on the Sunshine Virtual ESA podcast.